brother. How you doing?
Good, pal. How's your dad doing?
Yeah, but you know, he's not doing bad. He's not doing good. You know what I mean? He's just kind of staying the same right now.
Yeah.
You know.
I see Gene Peters up at,
The September 2024 meeting of the City of Scranton Zoning Hearing Board will now come to order. Will the secretary please take roll?
Board Member DeAntona.
here.
Board Member Morris.
Here.
Chairman Walsh.
Here. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In accordance with the Pennsylvania State Sunshine Law, this board shall render its decision on each case either at the end of each hearing or within 45 days of the hearing. If you are to give testimony in a case, please come to the podium, raise your right hand, and wait to be sworn in. After being sworn in, state your name and address and proceed with your testimony. Also, anyone giving testimony who does not become a party to the case may obtain a written decision from the zoning office. I also have two announcements of law. If you are granted a variance or a special exception, you must wait 30 days from the date of our decision to obtain necessary permits to start work. However, you may obtain a permit sooner by signing a waiver that any work done during that 30-day period is at your own risk. A favorable decision by this board shall expire 12 months from the date of said authorization in accordance with Section 111I of the zoning ordinance. If you fail to obtain the necessary permits or do not comply with any or all conditions of said authorization, you must seek an extension. Any remarks? You good? Abram, could you attest to the verification of the postings, please?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Can we call the first case, please?
First on the agenda today, we have Anna Stalker seeks conditional use for 2-unit property at 2010 Edna Avenue, R-10 Zone. Would you please step up?
And I guess we should make a quick announcement that the 803, 809 Colfax Avenue was dismissed, or they're not coming in front of us for that, if anybody's here for that.
Yes. Anna Stalker, ANNASTOCKER.
You may proceed.
I am here. I live at 2010 Edna Avenue with my family, and I am here to conform with the requirements of R2 zoning district because I am R1. So I would like to, I submitted all the information that was requested, and I feel like I've done my part in putting this together for you all for review.
Just
So
pull that
I'm-
microphone over to you a little
I'm
bit
sorry.
so we can hear you, okay?
Sorry. Oh, that is better. Sorry.
So you live at this home, is that what you, is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you're turning it into a 2-unit, or it is already a 2-unit?
It is a 2-unit
Okay. How long have you been there?
since 2010.
Okay.
Sorry, excuse me, 2014.
2014. So you were renting it as a 2-unit before this?
I'm sorry?
You were already renting this as a 2-unit?
Yes.
And then something, how did you wind up coming here?
We moved there. It was a family home. We moved there to live.
So Abram, what happened to get her to come here for this 2-unit?
I believe it just came. I believe they pulled the permit and it came up as a single family. So
Okay.
we had them come in front of the zoning hearing board to get it as a 2-unit.
So you have no records of previous 2-unit in this building?
No, not in our records, but our records could only, you only go back so far. So
Okay.
it could have been in the past.
I'm just going to make a comment that she's in an R-10 zone, and a 2-family dwelling is a permitted use in an R-10 zone, so long as she has the parking and the rest of it.
I believe that's the issue here, because there's no parking, right? There's no parking for
No,
this unit?
it's street, yes.
Okay. And there's no way to get any parking for that property at all?
I know, it's a drop off in the back.
Okay.
Have you had tenants since 2014?
No.
No tenants.
It looks like, from what I can understand, is most of that street doesn't have any off-street parking, is that?
Yes, sir. Not until much further down, but no.
Any questions?
What's the size of the apartment that you're going to rent, as far as bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage?
I didn't add up all the square footage. When I submitted the application, I had a map drawing put together.
How many bedrooms are in that room?
One.
One bedroom?
Yes.
There is a map attached to the application. You guys should have that.
So has this apartment been there all this time?
Yes.
Nobody lived in it? Until just now? Nobody's lived in it until just now?
My cousin lives there.
How long?
Let's see, 3 years, 3, 4 years.
3 or 4 years?
Yes, sir.
Anything else? Is there anyone here to give testimony on this case? There's not.
Make a motion?
Second.
Board Member DeAntona?
Yes.
Board Member Morris?
Yes.
Chairman Walsh?
Yes, 3-0, you've been approved. Good luck.
Thank you very much, people and sirs. Thanks.
Okay, second on the agenda today, we have Marelli Realty seeks variance to use property as car and truck storage at 1638 Keyser Avenue, end zone. Please come up. 1638 North Keyser, Marelli Realty. This is the second time.
Second time.
Yeah,
This
so
we had listed in September. They did not show in September, and there was an objector here that offered testimony in September.
I think, I wasn't here the last meeting, I think it was the meeting before that guy was here, right? If I'm not mistaken, is this the third time?
They were here for something else.
Okay,
In one of the storefronts.
Yeah, the
Okay.
objector
Yeah.
was here in September.
okay,
yeah, they were here for
I don't recall his name, but
okay, so you want to put it to the end and then we'll dismiss it at the end?
yeah, I think
Okay.
we should.
Okay.
All right, next on the agenda, we have Louis D. Quezada seeks special exception to convert single-family dwelling into a 2-unit dwelling at 317 South Irving Avenue, R-9 zone. Please step up.
Correct.
My name is Edmund Goodfield, E-D-M-U-N-D, G-O-O-D-F-I-E-L-D.
You may proceed, sir.
Okay. I'm here in lieu of the owner to ask for a two-family dwelling. It's currently considered a one-family because, well, there was a two-family there before. We don't know how long my client bought it. And when he bought the property, he was assumed that it was a two-family. There's 2 kitchens, 2 bathrooms, and each have 2 bedrooms. So I actually applied for the permit, and I was denied because it was a single family. I was putting a double service in, 2-gang service. They were told just to come to the zoning. We had approved we got some parking in the back. We got 50 feet by 100 for parking. We just want to turn it back into a two-family, a legal two-family.
So that this parking you're talking about it's pretty steep back there, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it is steep. I'm going to say I wouldn't pull a car in there now, especially wet. But if they pass the zoning, they will level that off, and they will put gravel in for now.
So you're saying, how long ago did you buy this property?
I didn't buy the property. The owners bought the property, and I'm guessing about 8 months ago.
Okay.
We found out it was to a single family because my brother and a sister lived there, and they didn't want to have 2 electric bills, 2 gas bills, but there is a double meter base there, and there's also, I believe, 2 gas meters.
And do you know how wide that lot is?
Yeah, it's 50 foot wide.
50 foot.
Yeah. In the back, behind the house, not counting the house, from the house to the alley is 100 feet.
Okay. I'd imagine there's got to be some kind of retaining wall put in there to try to put parking there, right? I would imagine. It was steep, but
I imagine there would be, yes. And they're willing to do it.
So, Abram, obviously you don't have any records of a two-family in that home?
Yeah, no record, but the zone does say conversion to apartment is a special exception for that zone.
So a 2-unit is not allowed even if they have the parking, Dan, like the other one?
Well, because this is a conversion apartment is allowed in this district, we'd have to progress under section 6.3 for uses as a special exception. And they're talking about zoning board has to find that the proposed use will not adversely affect the health, safety, or welfare of the residents. There's sufficient public services, meets all the other requirements. It does, minimum impact of noise, dust, et cetera. It doesn't specifically talk about parking, but in another section, parking for, it's 1 per unit.
Correct, right.
So that's what they need off.
So it looks like he needs 2 parking spots for this, right? And I
Yeah,
believe,
he's proposing 3 on
3,
his
I saw
drawing,
that.
but he only is required to have 2.
okay. Anyone here to give testimony in this case? There is not. Yeah, I think we got to put a contingency on the parking, safe parking in the rear, most likely a
Yeah,
retaining wall and,
We could definitely say that the parking in the area in the back has to be leveled.
Okay.
Because that's a hazard otherwise.
yes, yeah, it was pretty
Do
steep back
do
there.
we make them put a retaining wall? I'm not so sure we're engineers to say it has to have a retaining wall, but at least has to be level,
I don't see how
level
it's
and
even
safe.
possible to happen without it. It's steep, it's pretty steep.
Okay, then we can put that
Yeah,
as a
let's
contingency.
add it in, yep.
Excuse me? I just wanted to say that the parking wouldn't come all the way to the house. and
No,
that-
we know that.
It does get real steep in the back.
You wouldn't need to go all the way to the house. You would need like 20 feet there.
Oh, okay.
Since he's not using that whole section, do we need to have any shrubbery or anything put in there?
Not if it's only
Buffers.
if it's only 2 spots, you don't.
Okay. Make a motion with the condition?
We can allow him 3 spots, and
Okay.
we can say he doesn't either, that's something we have to grant, but automatically he doesn't for 2.
You're okay with 3 spots back there?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll put that in there
I make a motion
with the conditions.
with the conditions.
Second.
Board Member DeAntona,
Yes.
Board Member Morris,
Yes.
Chairman Walsh.
Yes, 3-0, you've been approved. Good luck.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have Mof Solutions seeks variance to operate a nail salon at 2934 Birney Avenue, R-9 zone. Would you please step up? Mof Solutions, MOF Solutions. Yeah, nail salon, it's for a nail salon at Birney Avenue.
Thank-
She doesn't. Yeah, pasa. Es nomás decir.
Yeah, well, we should probably swear in the interpreter, too.
So I'm going to swear you in, okay, so since you're going to, and then you're going to speak for her, right? Okay, so you raise your right hand for me, please.
Raise your hand.
You.
My name?
You swear or affirm to testify about something better than you will be
Yes.
State, spell your first and last name.
Into the microphone if you can.
If you're going to be the one speaking, well, actually, yeah, give me her name first. Give me her name.
Okay. Her name is Transito Chimborazo. It's Transito. And the last name is Chimborzo. AZO. It's my name. It's Nancy Minato. Nancy. Minato. Mainato. Okay.
You may proceed.
My mother wants to open a nail salon, but we were told that we can't open the nail salon because it's next to a pub. The address is 2934 Birney Avenue. And that's what we were told.
Okay.
Just 2 things. Who is MOF Solutions? Is that a different?
The owner of the property.
Oh, that's the owner of the property. Okay. And they're in an R9 zone, which a nail salon is considered personal service establishment, but that's not allowed in an R9 zone, so this is going to need a variance, unlike the next case, which is in an R10, but this one in an R9 needs a variance.
So we have a bar that's there, and I believe there's 3 apartments up above. So are we taking in that? I didn't see much parking there. I don't know how do you have off-street parking there?
It's on the right side. There's a parking lot.
How many cars could fit in there?
About 10, 15.
Yeah, I think there's parking for 3 or 4 cars on the right-hand side that I saw. Do we have to take in consideration of the bar and the apartments there also?
Is it on the same lot?
Yeah, it's all in the same.
Then yes.
So how many parking spots would we need for a bar and the 3 apartments?
3 apartments need 3 for sure.
Right.
Looks like the bar needs 1 for every 50 square foot that's open to the public.
And I would imagine that's roughly 2,000 square feet inside there. So that's about 13 spots if I'm adding correctly, correct?
I'm just measuring the variance,
Yeah.
kind of subtract
Yes.
for the nail salon, I'm coming up with about 1,500 square.
For the bar?
Yeah.
I mean, if you think there's more parking spaces than 3 or 4, I would recommend that maybe you go back to the owner and you guys come up with some kind of parking plan for back there to show us what kind of parking that you're going to have for your clients to come in there. Because I don't see that many spots there.
Okay.
I don't know if maybe you want to continue this hearing and maybe go back to the owner of the property and come up with some kind of parking diagram to see what you're seeing that I'm not seeing.
Okay. Dice que porque no hay mucho espacio de parqueo. Que
Sí, porque es un business pequeño, no va a ser como algo grande.
she's saying that it's going to be a small business, that we're not going to take a lot of space.
No, we understand that. Well, we can either vote on it tonight, or you could go back to the owner and come up with a parking plan for us to see.
Dice que podemos hablarlo ahorita o puedes hablar con el señor para el parqueo.
El parqueo está muy chiquito.
If you'd have to come up to the microphone.
Puede abrir, ¿por qué no viene?
¿Qué dice?
Dile tu nombre.
Yeah, my name is Luis Mainato. L-U. Yep. Luismainato. Okay, so the bar is open just in the afternoons. So the parking lot is like for 7 cars. Everything is have a space in the backside. So I'm talked like a couple years ago with the owner. He said, and before is the business, so the bounty salon. So yeah, that's the owner say.
Okay. So I think all we're asking for is you to go back to the owner and come up with a parking plan that we can see how many spots are there for customers.
Okay, I'm going to speak with him again.
Well, that's Don. Did you go back? I didn't see more than a few spots there. Did you go?
There's a good sized lot in the rear. It looks like it's all dirt, but they're not marked off or anything. I mean, it you could probably fit 20 cars back there if you want it, if it was lined properly and everything.
So that's the back in the back here. You think there's enough there?
Yeah, I think what we don't know is really what the site, I think it was the size of the bar. Sorry, I don't know if you guys want to get on the record right now. I said if we knew what the size of the bar was, it would make us do the calculations a little easier.
Right, because while you're calculating 1,500 square feet, that's the whole bar. That's not what's open to the public inside, which is much less than that.
There's kitchens and stuff
Right.
that's inaccessible to the public.
Right, right.
We would be able to subtract out.
I mean, should we ask have the owner come in and,
Or you could give us a little floor plan sketch. I think that would be okay.
is that possible for you to go back to the owner, get us the square footage of the bar, the square footage of your spot that you're going to rent, and maybe come up with a small parking plan for us to see?
I have to try. I have to try. ¿Cómo dice?
Dice que si puedes volver con un plan del parqueo y el números exactos de como square feet. Sí.
Yeah, I'm going to talk with the owner, so
And maybe, Abram, you can talk to them to explain a little bit better of what we're looking for?
Yeah.
You can talk to Abram.
Owner call AIM.
okay.
Yeah, you can have the owner call me. I can give you my contact information, no problem.
Okay.
That you can give to the owner, just to give me a call, and I'll relay everything that needs to be given to us, so for the next meeting that you guys come into, all right?
Okay.
So do they have to ask for a continuance on this?
Yes. Just ask that we hear it next meeting when you get the information.
Okay.
Ask the board.
Just ask us for a continuance.
Continuance.
Continue.
Can we continue?
Yes.
Yes.
Do we have to vote on that for a continuance?
Yes, you should.
I make a motion to vote.
Para cuando
Second.
Board Member DeAntona?
Yes.
Board Member Morris?
Yes.
Chairman Walsh?
Yes, a vote for continue to next meeting when the owner talks to Abram and gives the information, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have Jesse Rella seeks variance to operate a hair salon at 267 Rear Railroad Avenue, R-10 Zone. Please step up.
Yes, sir. I swear. JESSERELLA.
You may proceed.
Today I'm here to get permits to operate a salon. I didn't know it was non-commercial. It was a salon when I bought it, and it was a operating salon for over 20 years. And I'm just here to do whatever I have to do, comply with the codes and anything that has to be done.
How long
Parking.
ago did you buy it?
What was that?
How long ago did you buy the?
4 years ago.
4 years ago.
You operate the salon yourself?
No, sir.
It's rented out to somebody, is that?
Yes, she's here, and we're just trying to figure out everything that we have to get done. There is 2-3 off-road parking spots in the alleyway there on Core Place where the salon is.
Is that salon connected to a house
No,
that's on its own?
it's a separate building.
Is it on the same property?
Yes.
Okay. How many units is the building that it's connected to?
It's just one unit.
Well, where do they park at?
They could park out in the front, or there's front parking, and then the off-road parking where the shop is, there's also parking.
And how many people work in the salon?
One,
One.
yes.
It's
And
like
they make appointments.
one at a time type?
Yes,
So, Abraham, I'm assuming you said they need an occupancy permit, so you're going to go in and inspect this if it was approved?
We were already out there once before, and we got in. I mean, it definitely looked like a salon. It's just, I just had basically makeup on it because it's a new tenant, so they had put their new stuff into it and all that.
The new tenant applied for certificate of occupancy, and that's when we realized that there was never any approvals given for what was there before.
Okay. And then the parking, how many spots would you think were there, Abram? Like 2 spots, maybe?
It looks like there's maybe 2 off-street parking spots that will be there for the salon.
Yeah,
Does
sounds right.
she live there too, or no?
no.
No, she doesn't live there. Any question? Is there anyone here in the audience to give testimony on this case? There is not.
I make a motion?
Second.
Board Member DeAntona,
Yes.
Board Member Morris,
Yes.
Chairman Walsh.
Yes, voted 3-0, you've been approved. Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Okay. Next on the agenda, we have William Fox seeks an appeal to recognize property as a commercial use, not residential, at 600 St. Francis Cabrini Street, R-11. Please step up.
I do. William Fox, FOX.
Just for the record, Mr. Fox has been a client of mine for 20-plus years, so I'm going to keep as quiet as possible.
Okay.
I'm going to keep as quiet as possible.
That's why you didn't hear him. It's quiet.
You may proceed.
Okay, my name is William Fox. I'm the owner of a property at 600 St. Francis Cabrini Avenue. I've owned it since 2013. It's been in commercial use for the last 20, 30, 40 years even. I have documentation on it here. It was rezoned in January. I wasn't notified, so I wasn't at the hearing. I'm just trying to get consideration to take it back to commercial zone again.
So then, was this rezoned from commercial to,
I think this was residential under the last
Yeah,
ordinance too, but the property itself was always used commercial.
okay. So was this a violation? How did it get to this point?
I believe he had filled out a building appeals application, and it got rejected, and he got sent to file an appeal with the zoning hearing board.
Well, we'll back up a few steps. We've got complaints about the condition of the property. Both code enforcement and aid from zoning were out there. He was given a notice of violation for operating a junkyard on the property, and he appealed that violation.
So what are you operating there? Because it does look like a junkyard when I went there myself. I didn't know.
Yeah,
what
currently, Zook's Auto Repair, Recovery. He has, I don't know, 3 or 4 rollbacks there, and he recovers for 2 of the Copart and that other AIT or whatever. So he's chasing down their insurance jobs, towing cars up. So some of them I'm sure belong to them. Some belong to Fazook. I have a few. Most of mine are inside the building.
So what kind of business are they operating? A towing business?
He runs a towing business out of there and an auto repair, I believe, yes.
I mean, there has to be 100 cars there.
There's probably close to it.
So I know we talked about a repair shop, but what is the
storage of unlicensed vehicles for more than 30 days is prohibited. No outdoor storage of parts, equipment, lubricants, fuels, or other materials. And all exterior vehicle storage areas shall be screened from adjoining residentially zoned properties or residentially used lots and roads. There's no fencing, there's no screening.
So what's the game plan for the property as far as the cleanup of that place to bring it back to? I have a picture here of when you bought it, and then I have a picture here of what it looks like now. It's
It's a junkyard.
It's
Agreed,
pretty.
yeah.
Well, what's your game plan there? Any game plan to?
Yeah, I'm back and work on getting it cleaned up. It's a tenant. Most of it belongs to a tenant.
And it looks like most of them are unlicensed, no plates on them,
Yeah, they're
correct?
either there for, it is also Ray's classic car auto sales there too. So he has the auto sales out of there, his repair and recovery. I only occupy the back of the building and most of my stuff is inside.
A lot of these cars look like they've been there a long time.
Boats, I know I see a bunch of boats. So, Dan, what I'm seeing here is he's here for how many uses? Are we here to just commercial in general, or it looks like there's a few different uses of this property.
I guess Mr. Fox can tell us what the uses have been over the last 10, 20 years.
Actually, yeah, back into the 80s, it's been roll-off dumpsters there when Yakavazi had it, and Ray's Upholstery, and Tunos Auto Body, Fazooks, Ray's Classic Cars, Ben Rinker Electric has been in there. Dave's Radiator has been in there.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, we're not questioning the uses of the buildings, it's the condition of the property.
Right, correct.
It's being operated under what our ordinance would define as a junkyard, and the junkyard is not allowed in that zone. I think, I understand with a salvage or a recovery operation, they have to store vehicles, but I think they need to be fenced and screened.
Okay, I guess before we get to any kind of conditions on this, we'll see if anyone's here. Is anyone here from the audience? You want to come on up? If we could do one at a time, whoever's going to speak.
My name is Dale
Hold on.
Honey.
Do you swear affirm the testimony about the
I do. Dale Honey, it's Dalehonney. If I may, I have a bunch of pictures I'd like to present. My wife and I bought this property in 1992. At the time, Ray's Upholstery, Mr. Krayeski owned the property. Mr. Krayeski never kept more than 12 vehicles outside the property. That was an agreement he had with the neighbors and a former member of this board, Peg Paris. If Peg was alive today, she'd be rolling in her grave seeing what has become of this property. This property is a junkyard. Behind the building has to be at least 100 tires. There are boats there that have not moved all summer long. There are, as of today, 127 vehicles there. Mr. Fox spoke of the tow trucks. There's at least 9 tow trucks and rollbacks. There are old tractors. There are pieces of tractors and trailers. It is overgrown. I have not had a mouse in my house in 30 years until the past 3 years. The only neighbors that are going to come here are the few that are here, and that's for one reason and one reason only. There's only a couple of neighbors that border this. He's bordered on one side by the old D.R. Samuels, which I will be going after next because that building is a disgrace too. Amen is right. The railroad tracks on another side and woods behind it. When this property was taken over by Mr. Fox, I was promised that it would never be like it is. Mr. Tallarico, who owns Fazooks, Jamie Tallarico, is responsible for the mess that's over there. I have no ill will against Bill Fox. I like Bill Fox. He's a great guy. I have no ill will whatsoever. But nobody should have to live next to this. Earlier this year, we had my mother-in-law's 80th birthday party. People were at my house, because we host a lot of parties. People were at my house that haven't been there in 5 years, her last birthday party. And they were disgusted. They said, "What the hell happened over there?" I was the groundskeeper for this property when Ray owned it. I cut the grass for years. Mr. Fox will tell you that. I cut the grass. I weed-eated it. I kept this property clean until I was impinged upon by all of the junk. There are boats 10 feet off of my property. They're falling apart. Ray's was never like this. And like I said, Peg Paris had an agreement, and everybody in the neighborhood knew it. 12 vehicles. If Ronnie Krajewski, Ray's Upholstery, was here, he would tell you. I was his best man in his wedding. He was my best man. If he had more than 12 vehicles outside, he got told about it, and he would apologize and make sure there weren't 12 out there the next day. This building is being used, you asked before what uses it's being used for? Towing business, car sales, car repairs, car painting. I smell painting fumes all the time. There is no paint booth here. Car storage, obviously, as you could see in some of those pictures, the majority of the vehicles on that property have not been inspected in dozens of years. I'm sorry, a dozen years or more. Boat storage. Other than that, somebody, I don't know who it is, if it's Mr. Fox or somebody from Jamie's side, just about every Sunday has a burn barrel behind the building. I forgot to mention, I worked for the city of Scranton for 30 years as a firefighter. It's illegal to burn anything in the city other than hot dogs. Okay? There's tires back there. They use this burn barrel to burn the coatings off of wires to scrap the wire, I'm assuming. There's an oil smell, there's a fuel smell, you could smell diesel, it's loud, and in one of the pictures, or two of the pictures you'll see, which I'm sure is illegal, they have a lift outside, a hydraulic lift with the vehicle on it. They jack it up and work on it outside. They jack cars up outside and work on them. So I am totally against anything being done to this property to make it commercial. It's an R11 zone. It should remain an R11 zone, and that's my say. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes. Tammy Honey, Tammyhonney. And I'm just here to say I'm against the property being zoned as commercial. It's turned into a junkyard. I've lived at that house for 30 years. It's never looked like that. We've never had any issues with rodents, and now all of a sudden we're having issues with rodents, and it's just a disgrace. And that's my say on it. I'm against it being commercial. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
I do. My name is Zoe Honey, Zoehonney. So Dale and Tammy are both of my parents. I'm 21 years old and I'm a student right now. I've lived at this property my entire life, and from the time that I understood what it meant that my parents built our house and saved up the money, the time, and the energy to do that, I've been proud. I always tell my friends, and obviously my family knows, I'm so proud to say that my parents built our house. We have always taken great pride in our property and the surrounding property. We always are cutting the grass, gardening, making sure everything looks good outside, repainting anything that needs to be fixed. My dad goes around and picks up garbage all of the time, at least several times a week. And I've always just felt proud of my home, and it's a place that one day I want to buy from my parents once I'm out of college and raise my family in. That's been a dream of mine since I was a kid. And seeing the state that the property is in right next to me destroys that dream that I have of having my kids run around in the backyard and enjoy all of the family time, all of the parties, the graduation parties, the birthday parties, holidays, everything outside, because the second that I step out of my house, onto our deck, onto our patio, getting in my car to go to school, all I see is trash and junk right up against our property line. It's a disgrace. My friends, my family, every time they come over, they make comments about how bad it's gotten, and it's embarrassing. I shouldn't be embarrassed of the hard work and the dedication, the love, the energy that my entire family has put into buying that property and making it the place it is today. Like I said, I'm a student. I'm about to graduate a semester early, and I'm going to be continuing with my master's, which is a fully online program. With all the work that they do and all the cars that are getting brought back and forth, it makes it really hard for me to focus on my classes during COVID. It's hard to have my window open, and it's just such an inconvenience in my life, and it really breaks my heart that every single day when I go out and I look at it, that dream of me raising my family and my kids there one day and telling them that their grandparents built this house gets destroyed. So I am totally against this property being zoned for commercial. Thank you.
Thank you.
I do. It's Mark Lugiano, 521 Pleasant Avenue, Scranton. Pleasant Avenue. Oh, I'm sorry. It's MARC is the first name. It's LUGIANO is the last. Okay, gentlemen, I moved here about 27 years ago. It's a quiet, nice neighborhood. And gradually through the years, it's been declining. It seems like every 5 years it's getting worse and worse and worse. There was a time you didn't mind a couple cars down there and people up and down the street, one-way street flying up here and there. But lately, it has been a situation where, and keep in mind, my wife and I are both working professionals. My wife, she makes a mistake at work, she gets sued by her clients, and we all know what that is like anyway. So we need our sleep. But lately, it's been like, sometimes they'll be down there working to 11, 12 o'clock at night, banging, and sometimes there's odors from body work down there. But like you said, my wife will come down around the corner, she says, is this turning into a junkyard? And just the quality of life is declining. There isn't many of us left that take a lot of pride and care into our homes. It might be simple for someone to go out and buy a piece of property and rent it or lease it to people who don't care about where they live, breathe, and sleep, but we certainly care about our homes. We put a lot of pride in our homes, in our neighborhood. We keep our homes immaculate and clean. You just don't see much of that anymore. I'm here on the behalf of our neighborhood, because if we all don't stay together and fight together, it's just going to turn into a cesspool. You don't believe me? Go to New York City. It's where I work. It's turning into a cesspool really quick. Really quick it's turning. But I am concerned about the direction everything's going to. And like we said, there's also another property there that I'm concerned about, which is directly down my street. I'm sure you're going to handle that one with us. Oh my gosh. I don't know what's going on. It's like a lawless society. people just come in, there's no plumbing there, there's no electrical there. They got a generator running out there almost 24/7. I have it on my phone, I could show you, 11, 12 o'clock at night. When you got both operations going, you got one down here going, then you got that one, you're not gonna get any sleep. Here, the fall time is here, you wanna open up your windows, get some fresh air. There's no fresh air when someone's painting a car here, painting a car over there. I'm also concerned, and I didn't know this when I bought the property, because if I had known it, I would have never bought the house there, that there used to be, I guess, a landfill there. Yakavazi, I believe.
So
I never knew anything about it.
So we could only focus on this property right now. If you can call Mr. Abrams.
Oh, I apologize.
And
I'll get that.
you can tell him about that property. Maybe he can look into that one. We're going to
thank
focus on this one tonight,
Thank you.
okay?
But I'm just concerned about the quality of life that we're experiencing right now, just to at least keep it under control for us. We appreciate your help and what you could do for us, and just keeping the quality of our life in order so we could live a decent life like you would want in your neighborhood, or the owner of his property. I'm sure where he lives, he doesn't have it in his backyard, but it's certainly in my backyard. I appreciate all your help in helping us getting this straightened out. Thank you.
Thank you.
I do. Michael, M-I-C-H-A-E-L, last name Mancini, M-A-N-C-I-N-I. Gentlemen, I'm a blight officer for West Scranton Crime Watch. We know this property very well. We also have been given information about homeless people staying in those cars. All right, it's an eyesore. It's an albatross. It's a quality of life issue for those who reside around that property. And in my mortgage experience, it's also an exterior obsolescence. It draws from the value of those properties that encompass that property. I think that we should be talking about a way to mitigate the situation and find a way to get rid of the 127 vehicles and try and clean up the property. You know, respect your neighbors. They've tried to respect you, but it's gotten out of control, and it needs to be resolved immediately. You know, you have a nice property there if it's maintained properly, but now it's just gotten out of control. And from West Scranton Crime Watch, and from somebody who's lived in West Scranton the majority of his life, please do your part and clean that up. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else here to give testimony?
I do. Thomas Sesso, S-E-S-S-O. Thomas Sesso, S-E-S-S-O. S is in Sam, E is in Edward, Sesso, S-E-S-S-O. Okay. I guess I'm about the oldest one there. I'm there 63 years. I rode my tricycle down the sidewalk. I have a house on 506 Pleasant, 1000 West Linden, 507 Cabrini Avenue. So I've been there my whole life. Mr. Fox, I know him, he's a friend of mine. Jamie Tallarico, I grew up with my whole life.
So try to speak in the microphone, sir, okay?
Sure.
Thank you.
I grew up with all of them my whole life. I know all of them. And I know every business that's been in that garage since I've been born. And it's never been like this. There's, like I said, there's, Dick Dale mentioned, there's probably 160 vehicles back there. All kind of animals, rats, possums, raccoons, everything you could imagine. I got two little boys that play around the whole neighborhood, ride their bikes. One is 9 and one is 14. And it's just a mess down there. On Cabrini Avenue, there's trucks, flatbeds coming day and night, you know, dropping stuff, digging up the road. I mean, it's a one-way street, dead end. And I mean, it's just a mess. And I feel bad for Dale. Dale, his property is border right with the rest of it. And all these cars are parked right on his property line. I mean, it's a mess. I wouldn't want to live like that. And he's got a beautiful property down there. And what that's doing to us, it's killing our home value. And mostly everybody on that whole neighborhood are homeowners. There's not a lot of real rental properties. So we all take care of ourselves there, look out for each other. And like I said, I mean, I love Jamie, but he's just worried about his cars, his business, and everything else. They got a frame machine outside in front of the garage, up on jacks. You know, they're painting outside, they're painting in the garage. It's not what it should be. I mean, that's about what I have to say about it all.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Anyone else? Mr. Fox, did you want to come back up and? I mean, I see the pictures here. I've been to the property. It is pretty bad. So I think before we can even vote on anything here, I think you would have to go back and get that place completely cleaned up and come back in front of us with what your game plan is for that property going forward after the cleanup.
Okay.
I don't know how you feel, Mr. King, or I know Abram, like, I think you're going to have to come up with a game plan there to get that place cleaned up ASAP, and then come back, and we can continue this to a month, maybe 2 months if we had to. Is that possible, Don?
Say 2 months.
Yeah, the board can continue this. I would ask, for no more than 30 days. And at that point, if there's no plan to clean it up, I'd ask the board to uphold our enforcement notice.
Do you agree to, I mean, we're not going to vote on anything tonight. Could you work on getting this place cleaned up and within 30 days and then come back and we'll talk about going forward?
Okay.
Did you have something different than you already told us before? You have to come back up to the microphone. Come back up.
First thing I'd like to ask, and I'll ask you to ask him because I don't want to step on anybody's toes here. I was told, a deal in the progress for Mr. Tallarico to purchase this property from Mr. Fox. I'm wondering if that's still going. Okay. So this problem is going to be passed on to the next owner.
And he's going to have the same issue.
Okay. Number two, I'd like to know, has there been any fines levied? And if not, why not? And number three is just a procedural thing. Just bringing up a point. Last year at this time, my wife and I were away on a family vacation. There were 3 posters put on my street about this 1 week before. If this was the same exact week as last year, I never would have known this hearing was even going on. Is there any way that I could be notified by letter, by certified letter, if anything is going on with this property? Being that I'm the one directly butted up against it?
So I could take your contact information, and then for the next meeting, I'll personally give you a call.
Okay, and I'm going to make a statement, nothing against you, Abraham, because you weren't the one that did it. But my contact information is in the office downstairs, and there was notes on it to be contacted. I can't remember the gentleman's name, and I forgot his card tonight. Ostrowski, is it?
Yes, Tom. Is it
Tom
Oleski?
Oleski. Tom Oleski had my information and was supposed to contact me, promised me he would contact me. I'm the one that was blowing up your phone about a month ago. I was calling every day to find out what was going on with this. But my point is, procedurally, 7 days isn't enough, and 3 posters isn't enough. The people who are up against this property, I would say that anybody that lives on this block or the block of Pleasant Avenue should have been notified about this.
I forget, are you sending certified letters still to the neighbors? No more letters at all?
Letters, but not certified letters.
Okay, letters. I didn't get anything.
Well, what was your last name again?
No, he's,
H-O-N-N-E-Y. And I want to thank you. I did see you at the property.
Okay,
Last week.
your name is on the list here, so...
yeah, he is on the list to be
Yes.
notified. I don't know why he didn't get notified.
Yes, your name is on the list here, I see it here, so...
Okay.
We'll make sure we get these guys letters for the next meeting.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, he could give me his number, and I'll write it down in our records, and I'll see to it that I personally give him a call.
So
Thank you.
we're not going to vote on anything tonight. We're going to continue this at least till the following meeting to give them 30 days to get this place cleaned up and present us with a game plan for that property.
And just one last comment. With 8 or 9 wreckers around, it should be pretty easy to clean up.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, the pictures here, I mean, oh, there's just piles of garbage, hundreds of tires. I mean, you got, shit, I saw the piles of shingles.
There's machinery.
Did you guys have anything else to add?
Do you need to keep the pictures?
No, you can take them.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. So you're going to have to ask us for a continuance and then get the place cleaned up and then come back to us what your game plan is going forward with the property.
Actually, because this is an appeal from a notice of violation, Mr. King has to ask for the continuance.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be happy to see you ask for a 30-day continuance.
Okay. Make a motion on
I'd like to make a motion
that? For the continuance.
for the continuance.
Second.
Board Member DeAntona?
Yes.
Board Member Morris?
Yes.
Chairman Walsh?
Yes, 3-0, the continuance. And please do your best, I mean, for these poor neighbors around there, the boats, the garbage, the cars, especially all the unlicensed cars. Please do your best to get everything out of there, okay, sir?
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to call this first case that we, that didn't show, which was
So-
number 2, I believe, right?
Yep. So one last call for Marelli Realty LLC, seeking variance to use property as car and truck storage at 1638 Keyser Avenue, End Zone. Nobody?
Because nobody's here, and this is their second time it's been scheduled, I think you should vote on it to, because there's no evidence to
Okay.
support their variance, so you could vote on it to deny the variance.
So is this going to be a yes, no, or?
Just a yes, no. I mean, so to deny is a no.
A no is to,
Is to deny the
Deny it, right.
request.
right, yes, make a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to vote.
Second.
Board Member DeAntona?
No.
Board Member Morris?
No.
Chairman Walsh?
No, 3-0, it's been denied. And then we'll go to I believe there was one more, correct? Is that it?
Yep, that's
Okay,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, meeting adjourned.